Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly market update. So, just a quick update for what is happening over last week and what is things is going to happen for this upcoming week. So let's take a look. Last Friday, as we can see from the market itself, Dow Jones didn't perform very well. There's a huge drop of around 700 points, uh, close to 730 points lower. Mainly it's due to the increase of the COVID cases. So, market tend to worry that the second wave is already been here. So they're trying to reduce our positions. Of course, beside that, one thing to take note is that on the day itself of Friday, once earning report from Nike wasn't performing very well as well. So it might actually bring a concern because as you see when the market first of the company like Nike, such a strong company, is not doing well in the earning report due to COVID reasons, the upcoming earnings report for the rest of company they might be more skeptical on it. So they tend to take them, try to sell with their existing share. It has been all the way, since March. It has been ready up for almost 3 months after the COVID of the first wave. So I think it's a pretty decent upwave trend for the past 3 months, and right now it might be mm, just a profit taking seasons, or we shall see whether how badly the second wave of the COVID should be coming next week. So things to take note while we are always moving forward to the next coming week, we need to know and find out what will be happening to the market. So I always like to start off with the economic calendar. Of course, you can see all the software or the website that I'm using. It's not a paid. I don't pay for anything. I just use all available software out there. So yeah, I may be toggle between different kind of website. Yeah. So going forward, I'm not going to do a lot of market update because if let's say you are paying attention on the market itself, you are monitoring the shares, you should know what is happening in the market. But I'll just pinpoint and highlight certain things that I'm monitoring that might actually bring you the interest as well. So since I'm talking about US market, mainly I will just look at the coming week economic calendar. So during the first month of the first week of the month is the most heavy news report, economic calendar reporting. So such as like ADP non-farm payroll, such as like crude oil inventory, and such as like non-farm payroll and initial jobless claim. All these with 3 stars is those things that you might want to take note, like unemployment rate especially. So to prove that whether the market is still, how badly the market is being affected by this COVID uh, paramedic. So if you want to trade for the next week, do take note it's a short week because there will be a holiday on a Friday, July 13th. So since it's a short week, a short week don't tend to perform well. But Friday was a huge drop of 730 point in Dow Jones, so it might have time bounce back. Shortings might cover their short positions, so we shall monitor and take a look. What are we going to see next thing? So interesting find out for me for among the rest of the index. Things that I want to bring to your attention is basically Nasdaq. As you know, out of the three index S&P 500, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones, Nasdaq seems to have the strongest among the rest. So, however, uh, I did some research. It seems like based on technical analysis, there's a bearish divergence actually forming in Nasdaq. So, if let's say you are looking into any of the component that list under Nasdaq, please watch out of your position. Alright. So what are we looking at right now? You see, it's bear on Friday, so mainly most of the index has dropped. Anyway, I'm quite skeptical when actually Nasdaq touches 10,000 point. That's where I'm actually monitoring very closely. So one thing that I find out, this is all based on the trading view indicator. So I would like to use the default. Alright, so take a look over here. Alright, so where is the divergence coming to play? Let's see over here. As you can see, let me draw some line. Alright, so can you see here is higher high, but then all the RSI, CCI, or everything is forming a bearish divergence. So you might want to I mean, be wary on this particular index. All right, so let's take a look at weekly chart. Yes, it's always at the tip top. This is so-called the overbought positions, overbought zone. So we have to be much more careful. Let's comparing to day chart, and then we just remove all the indicator, just simple moving average, and then I'll just remove the line, and let's do some comparison between S&P 500. We shall see. So as you can see, let's remove all the other indicator. We always start with index first because I want to know what the whole view of the pictures of the market like before I zoom into a particular shares I'm looking at. So as you can see, this is S&P 500. They have fall down before Nasdaq. Can you see that? Where actually S&P from the highest, and when it dropped down, Nasdaq didn't drop, it went even higher. So this is being skeptical to me, and right now come in play with the bearish divergence. I am more sure to say more downside to go for Nasdaq. So Nasdaq component have to watch out. Of course, if let's say you are investing into those strong component, strong stocks, right, don't have to worry. But Nasdaq have been going up is simply to say that technology still function during COVID. Most of the office, most of the people are using such as like Zoom. We need more this kind of software. So that's why Nasdaq is not technology stock is not highly impact during this period of time. So alright, so without further ado, I have three stocks I'm monitoring right now. Basically, first of all, I would like to bring on is this thing called Lyft. I believe most of the people know what is Lyft, right? If you don't know Lyft, you should know things called Uber. Lyft is another shares riding company. They offer shares riding basically, but of course their business is not that big comparing to Uber. At least there's Uber Eat, right? So what happened to Lyft is that, as you can see, based on the chart, on the daily chart, is a downtrend since it's listed IPO all the way downtrend. Second thing to monitor, this is the downtrend stock. If let's say it come together with a downtrend economy, this is a pretty good shares to short it. So when is the entry price? I can see from the blue channel is actually a downtrend, but from the red channel you can see that it touches the bottom of the red channel. So this red channel, if you zoom into the 4-hour chart, you can see more closely. If I'm going to short this shares, I'm not going to short it now. Definitely there will be some pullback, like I say, it's a short week. However, it's a risk that you need to take. It's either you miss the boat or you were able to hop onto it. If I were to short, I will do a more mature call. I will short when the price actually have some pullback, but it actually didn't touch, it touches at the middle line of the channel. This is where I'm looking at. Any break above this trend, this downtrend, is the stop loss for me to call. So monitor it on Lyft if you are interested in this counter as well. So of course, over here is just sharing my view. Disclaimer apply, but anyway, I don't work for any company. I just work for myself. So this is just sharing for you guys. Next thing I'm gonna recommend is this called Chevron Corporations. All right. So this company, you are go Google more on it. I'm not going to repeat what does this company do. So due to COVID, I guess they actually cut down their manpower back to the companies to start working. So why I'm looking at it is because it's related to oil. All right, as you can see, oil is understand that a lot of OPEC is cutting their oil supply, trying to push the price higher. But do take note one thing: no matter how much they cut, if the demand is no longer there, the company can't sell their oil to anyone out there, right? So it's be a decent run. I think here is the pullback. So where's the entry point and stop loss is for you guys to figure out. This is one thing to take note and point out. So of course a lot of news is coming. I mean you can Google and find out. Next thing, all right. Oh, I forget to say for Leaf, right? Take note on one thing. Um, the competition is quite huge. Why I say that? So this is one thing that I found. All right, share with you guys. This is one thing. Zoot plus Amazon. Amazon actually buy driving startup. All right. So these are competitions. They try to buy over this. It's not a listed company, but they try to privatize company. Try to buy this company. So the main purpose is to have transportation globally. Amazon, such a big company, is a ride hiding as well. So I don't know where will Uber and Lyft stand if this come into play. So do take note. Amazon is a huge company. Next thing. So next thing that we need to monitor that I'm going to recommend is this thing called Arrowhead. All right, this company is a pharmaceutical company. So overall, is a of course it's under Nasdaq. If let's say you think Nasdaq is going to drop, please do not enter first. We shall monitor where is the entry price if you want to. Always start from the weekly. You see, it's a very green, sharp bull trend coming with a volume cover with it. Of course, I'm not going to enter. It's like chasing the market. Like I say, it's a short week. So find a best entry price for this before you want to long. One good news for this Arrowhead is that you might want to take a look if you do much more in-depth Google. This is because I run through, so I share with you guys. Otherwise, you can just Google it if you want. There's a lot of news out there. All right, I'm not a news reporter for you guys, but I'm just sharing what I found. So, will Johnson acquired Arrowhead? Of course, COVID is not just the only disease out there. All right, there's many disease, AIDS. So what does Arrowhead actually focus? They are actually the front line. All right, the company is actually a front line battering on hepatitis B. So will Johnson take over? I will never know, but it seems like with a healthy cash and no debt, it's a good acquisitions. So we shall see how it goes. But if let's say you are trading on based on TA, so try to spot where is your entry price and your stop loss. This is like, of course, this is causes by the COVID, right? So if let's say no COVID, this should be a decent uptrend intact all the way, right? Just remove all these portions. This huge portion, just remove it will do. I mean, these huge portions, all right, just remove it. So the uptrend is still intact after all, without this paramedic going on. All right, so that's all for this week that I'm sharing. Hopefully you gain something and add something to your watch list and bookmark to it. So stay tuned and I will come back to the market update next week again. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.